Parenting is the hardest job, and there is not a close second. Raising high-performing teen athletes or performers? That's a high-stakes job. I'm Nate Crandall, joined by fellow certified high-performance coach Steve Galley. We coach ambitious parents like you, and also your high-performing teens, because when you both level up, connection and results don't just improve, they multiply. Welcome to the Stop Parenting and Start Coaching podcast. We have some burning questions for you. When you uncover more of this, the faster you grow.
Well, let's uncover it right now, Mr. Crandall.
Let's do it.
By the way, good to see you. The this that you were talking about is the truth.
Yep.
So sometimes we mess around a little bit, keep the listeners guessing. No guessing. We're talking about the truth.
I love it. Right.
So coach me.
So if I was coaching you on this, one of my favorite questions to go to get you started on this would be, when has telling the truth accelerated your growth?
Wow. That's what the kids would say is a juicy question.
What kids are you hanging out with?
I heard some kids saying it the other day. They're saying this is juicy, talking about this. Anyway, that's a fantastic question. What was
I think
it?
so.
When is telling the truth accelerated your growth?
See, and I like that we sync up on that. Those are the kind of questions we love to ask people, though, when we're working with them, because it's great. It really helps them dig into this topic of truth.
Okay, Nate. So truth is critical. We all know all progress starts with the truth. Give me some keys to how I can help my mindset with this whole concept of getting to the truth. And getting there, you got to get there quickly. Well, you don't have to. You could take the slow boat to China. The quicker you get to the truth, the faster you can accelerate that growth.
Right. Because all progress starts with the truth. So the faster you get to the truth, the faster you can get to the growing. And we have a tool that we love to use with this called the Truth Serum tool. Kind of like
Truth Serum
tool.
Sounds like something out of the Twilight Zone or a spy novel.
Spy novel, some Mission Impossible movie. We're going to squirt this juice in you and make you tell you the truth. That's what the tool is. We just come and inject you with something. No, because it really does help accelerate the growth by generating that accurate information. And I think we talked about this in the LinkedIn Live that we had as well. And, it's such a great way to get things going. So when we deal with honesty and truth, this is the key piece. When we had our Prime the Mind coaching intensive that we did with the kids. And we do that with parents as well. Here's some of the things that we get into, the keys for confronting the truth. The first key, be curious, not critical. When you're going after the truth, you can't get critical with yourself because that can turn bad fast. But if you can maintain a position of curiosity, it really helps you to avoid judgment. Second would be to be specific, but not get emotional about the things. And having that specificity allows you to focus on the facts and not the feelings. And so those are really the keys, is to be specific but not emotional, focus on the facts, not the feelings that get generated because you're looking at some of those facts. And then that sets the table for getting into the 3 reframing R's that we love to talk about. And that's reflect, refocus, and recommit.
I love the 3 R's.
Yeah, 3 R's are super powerful. Can I coach you a little bit? This is my chance to put you on the hot seat. You do it to me all the time, but can I do it to you?
This was not planned. Let's go for it. I'd love to be coached by you.
Awesome. I'm going to actually make you answer the question that we threw out earlier. When has telling the truth accelerated your growth?
Okay, I'm going to bring up something that's really pretty fresh, pretty recent.
Good. Fresh is good.
And I know that our listeners are not at all interested in my pickleball game, but guess who is?
Steve.
Yeah, I am. I'm very
I'm
interested in
actually
it.
very interested in it too. I enjoy following the journey.
Okay, quick backstory. I have not played pickleball very long. In fact, probably less than 20 times now, but I've really fallen in love with the game. I used to play tennis during the off season growing up. My dad taught me, and we would play in the summers all the time. Get up early when it's a little bit warm, but still cool. Used to play a lot of tennis. And then when I finished playing football in college and that career ended, just newsflash, your career's going to end at some point, everybody. I played throughout the latter half of my college experience. I would play intramural tennis and had a couple of buddies that I worked with that we would go play tennis. So I already have some ground strokes and some paddle or racket skills. Oh, used to play a lot of racquetball too when I was playing college football. That was part of our off-season program. So
cool.
Have some racket skills, but pickleball is a different animal than tennis and racquetball. There's some nuances. So I have been very frustrated with myself because serving it's a different thing. It's just a totally different thing than racquetball and tennis. And I will tell you the mistake I made, which is basically just telling myself that I stink at serving. And so what I had to do is basically go through these fundamentals for confronting the truth. So I just got really curious and started asking myself questions. Okay, what am I doing incorrectly here? What do I need to do correctly? Who can help me? Okay, where can I get some good information? Who can help me on this? So just got really curious because I know if I know how to do this right, practice it correctly, that I'm going to improve dramatically. And then got really specific, just eliminated the no more, I suck, I stink at this. I'm a good athlete, but why can't I serve? Why is this grandma? No offense to the pickleball grandmas, by the way, that are like, some of them are just absolutely lights out incredible. But seriously, why is this grandma who is 78 years old like a way better server than me?
Grandma's a 5.5.
Yeah. Yeah. Grandma is good. So getting rid of all those silly emotions and just getting really specific about, learning about serving and just really getting to the facts over the feelings. The fact is, I am not a pickleball player
yet
of any length of time. Well, maybe the truth is I'm a new pickleball player.
There you go.
Learning how to serve differently than I did in these two other racket sports. And so that's just that was the truth. And once I just accepted the truth, and by the way, in a matter of 3 weeks, there's been dramatic improvement.
Yep.
But it had to start with this getting rid of these silly emotions and just this worthless critique of myself and beating myself up. The serve is getting better and getting better fast.
Oh, you got to the truth. And when you get to the truth, that opens up the door for accelerated growth. You get there, now you can go forward faster.
So I'm going to hit you a nasty serve right now with some serious spin on it. You tell me, I want to hear something from you from your
running lore,
running escapades where
that's where I'm going to go.
Where you've had to confront the truth and look it in the eyes.
Well, honestly, of course, we got to go right to the honestly.
Yes.
The hardest one for me that I had to really push myself to tell myself the truth on, and it took me a while to get there. When I first started doing marathons, I wasn't great. Ran my first marathon in 5 hours and 33 minutes. That's a terrible time. And I loved it. I had so much fun. And so that was the fact that I was rolling forward with. I love this. So I trained for a second one and did much better. I cut 59 minutes off my time. So I went down to 4:34 and I thought I had it figured out. So I got into the Chicago Marathon just on the ballot. Wonderful stroke of luck. But I'm like, all right, I'm serious. I'm going to do really good. I'm going sub 4 hours on this one. So I ran almost 1,000 miles over the course of 12 months of preparation for this. And I was feeling good. I'm like, I'm going to smoke this marathon. I'm going to cook in this marathon. And I was 8 minutes slower. I went 4 hours and 42 minutes and I went backwards.
Oh.
And that was a real moment of clarity for me where I had to tell myself the truth. Because just like you, that voice in my head's like, you suck at this. You're too old. You're too out of shape. You're never going to be able to get this done. Had to get through that and get to the truth. I didn't know what I was doing. And so I got a coach. And I got a coach that knew what he was doing. And all of a sudden, my running changed. And my fourth marathon, I cut those 42 minutes off and actually went sub 4 hours. But that was because I got to the truth and was able to get that done. And at the finish line, there was a certain glorious human being that was there to help me celebrate that. That's a fun story we'll have to dig up for another time.
Who was that?
That would be you, Mr. Coach Steve Galley, bringing me across the finish line.
I remember when you actually went and got the tape, because for those of you that don't do marathons, and I eventually came to my senses and stopped doing them. Nate is still certifiably nuts.
You got me into this mess.
Yes. Hey, pickleball. Pickleball is the answer. So when you start the race, they start the clock. So not everybody starts at the same time. So Nate started later than what you would say is the clock time, but he has a chip. You have what's called chip time. That's what really counts. This little electronic chip. And so I remember the excitement on your face when you had gone over and got chip, and they give you a little receipt printout, and you saw the sub 4. That
blew my mind.
I think we were toasting chocolate milks at that point, and you were so excited. But that was cool. But I think what you're saying here is, if you would have never confronted the truth, if you wouldn't have got the coaching. And by the way, I got some coaching on my pickleball serve.
Yeah.
And I would have been doing 2 or 3 things wrong without that outside set of eyes. And that was one component that really changed it. I know you've talked about your getting the coaching for your running and how that shifted everything. But you had to confront the truth before you got to that point.
Here's the truth that we need to live in with this. We all have blind spots. And that's the power of a coach, is that they get you to look at those blind spots. And now you can actually tell. It's not that people are out there lying to themselves. We have so many people with high integrity that listen to this podcast, and they're not out there lying to themselves. But those blind spots where we don't see it, that's the truth that we've got to get to. And that's the power of coaching. I would love to talk more about these 3 reframing R's in the time that we have left here. The first one, reflect. Look back on the event. What'd you do well? What's one thing you struggled with? And what's one moment where you exerted your power to shape the outcome? It's a great little reflection activity, but it helps tee you up for telling more of the truth.
Refocus. Get back to the truth and think about what matters most. A good phrase to remember is, we want to work on progress, not punishment. I am one who was, especially as an athlete, I used to really beat myself up. I wish I would have had coaching on this, because I would punish myself. And so a couple of good questions here is, what's one specific thing that I will focus on next time? And I'm doing that in my pickleball serving. There are 2 simple things that I'm really focusing on. And then another good question is, what truth do I need to remember to stay grounded? And I will go back to pickleball again. I am a newer pickleball player, and I need to remember that, rather than thinking all of a sudden I'm just making up years of pickleball playing that I've never done. You got the last R.
Well, the truth for me that helps me stay grounded in running, because I just wanted to throw this out there, consistency wins. That's a truth, universal across all cultures, all time, everything. Consistency wins. And when I remember that truth, I get better faster. The last R, recommit, determining your right next step and allowing yourself to take positive forward action. Instead of getting bogged down in the feelings, here's the facts. This is what I need to do next. And you do it. So like if our parents wanted one to challenge them, what kind of parent or leader are you training to be? And you ask yourself that question, and now it creates this, okay, what's the next step? This is the next thing I need to do to be that parent or leader that I want to be. And the last question, what's one action I'll take in the next 24 hours to train that identity? Getting yourself to do something today. So when you hit stop on this podcast, we would love for you to think about that. What's one action you're going to do in the next 24 hours? It's going to help you be the parent or leader that you're training to be. You're listening to this because you're stinking awesome and you're trying to make a difference for your kids in their activities. You're trying to help them excel because you're trying to excel. So make that choice and go get it. We would love to invite you to follow Steve on LinkedIn. He shares so many great things there that will help you decide on some of these actions. So go give him a follow over on LinkedIn. Again, follow this podcast, Stop Parenting, Start Coaching podcast. We're on YouTube. We're also on all the other podcast channels. So follow us. We love to have you. We love to talk with you, hear about you guys and your adventures. But thank you for being with us. We know you can do this. Don't be scared of the truth. Go find it, and you're going to find a way to grow fast.
Nate Crandall and Steve Galley would like to thank you for tuning in to this episode. If you love what you're experiencing and learning from the Stop Parenting and Start Coaching podcast, please like, comment, and or leave a glowing review of this episode and the show. And to further help Nate and Steve expand their reach and impact thousands of parents, athletes, and performers, please share the show and subscribe to the Stop Parenting and Start Coaching podcast channel on YouTube. And if you want to explore further to see what Nate and Steve are creating to help parents of athletes and performers everywhere, please visit their website at createtransformbecome.com. That's createtransformbecome, all one word, .com. There you will find a growing number of tools and resources to help you elevate your parenting. Thanks again for tuning in. Now go create a magical relationship with your athlete or performer.